What is up, guys? It's Mitch or Deity back with another raid video. Today we're going to be going over the new characters that just got announced for the Valentine's Day fusion. I am still a new raid player, so I'm going to be giving a kind of new player perspective into reading the kits, whether I think they're good or not. And then any of you guys are experienced raid players, if you're willing to kind of expand on what I say or disagree, anything's fine. I just want to learn. I've been playing raid for about 6 months now. I feel like I have a decent understanding, but there are certain things I know are going way over my head. So I am going to be uploading daily content on this channel. I've been making a guide series, and then from there we're going to be doing summons, main account stuff. I'm going to do my first siege battle here soon, record that. I have a bunch of raid content planned. I'm excited for it, so if you're new, if you're willing to subscribe, that'd be awesome. Also, I do have a new download link, so if any of you guys have not downloaded raid or willing to download, make another account, I have a QR code at the top of the description. There's a link you can use. You're going to be getting 4 epics with my new code. I get to pick 4 epics. I went ahead and picked Tagoar. You'll get right away. Ugo, you'll get at level 25, both great revivers. Good for almost everything in the game. Next up, we're going to be getting Ultimate Gallic at level 45, and we are going to be getting Lady Quillen at level 50. Those two pair together well for Spider. So I have ideas for those characters going into the guide series, getting people into the game to where they can clear as much content as I can get them to where their account's stabilized and they'll continue playing raid. That's the whole goal of that guide series. So that will be linked down in the description as well. The series, you can watch it, start from episode 1 if you use my link. Then from there, you can use a promo code Monkey King. You can get Sun Wukong, all right? That's a super good legendary, Sun Wukong. He's only available for, I think, 2 more days as of recording this video. I think there will be a new legendary after that, but all of that is great. Also, once you log in for 7 days, right now, you'll be able to get the character Alice. Alice is another super good character. Okay, so now, going into this, new player stuff that affects me is going to be the Hydra quick battles. I do have a Hydra team. I'm able to beat up to the 2nd difficulty of Hydra with max rewards. So this will save me a lot of time, but I'm still working on my Hydra teams. I'm still trying to get further into that because I want some stone skin gear desperately. And then from there, the biggest thing is with this update for affects everybody is going to be the campaign super rates. That's the main thing I want to talk about. All the other stuff is stuff that affects in-game players. Doesn't really affect me at all. My clan's only level 9, so I can't. There's a lot of stuff in this update that does not affect the majority of players. For now, they will down the road. You won't even know it wasn't there to begin with. But the campaign super raids, this makes it to where you can go into a campaign battle, click super raid, all your campaign battles are doubled. The problem with this is I believe 1-star characters, you have to do 3 fights to get them level 10. So if you're trying to raise 1-star characters and you have super raids turned on, you end up wasting an entire run worth of experience. And that is one thing that I don't know how many runs it takes for a 2-star to get them from level 1 to level 20. I don't know how much, but it feels like with this, we're actually going to end up losing stamina. We'll be done faster, but less efficient. So that's, I guess, maybe the trade-off they were looking for. But that is like my one concern going into this. Maybe there's something I'm missing with that, but that is a little scary to me because especially if free-to-play players getting into the game, you want to be as efficient as possible. Now, on days you don't care, it's a good way to burn your stamina super fast and still make great progress. But if you're trying to min-max your stamina, not the greatest potentially, but still a super, super nice thing to have to the game. If you're raising any 4 stars or 5 stars up, it's going to save you so much time. So great addition to the game, but implemented, I don't know how well it's going to go for all of us. Now, the main focus of this video is going to be going in and talking about the 2 new characters that they added to the game. Okay, the 2 new characters are going to be Esme the Dancer. Okay, so Esme the Dancer is going to have a pretty good skill kit for new players. I'll go through it pretty quickly and let you guys know. With fusion events, any of you guys that haven't done it before, there's 2 types. There's fragment events where you can just get fragments. A lot easier to do than the other ones where you get 3-star characters. You have to raise them, fuse them into 4-star characters, raise those 4-star characters, fuse them into the legendary. Okay, that is the normal fragment. Or sorry, that's the normal fusion. The fragment fusion is you get fragments, you immediately trade those in for an epic character. And then once you get the epic character boosted up, you feed those 4 epic characters to get a legendary. It is very cost extensive. I did just do a fusion event on a brand new account, free to play, and it was doable, but it was you had to plan your resources out very, very well. And I did have to spend quite a few gems, but it was gems that we got free to play. So this is an event coming up. Usually when I first tried a fusion event, I did end up having to spend like 25 bucks just buying little $5 packs of stamina to finish it up. But just know you can accomplish a free to play if you do enough planning. And they are super good. It's a way that you can guaranteed get legendary characters that are really strong on your account. Now, her abilities are Blade Juggler. It attacks one enemy, and then it gives an increased attack buff to all allies for 1 turn. That's on her skill 1. That's super good. And skill 1 AoE or AoE attack buff for your team, that's fantastic. That's really cool. I think that right there is already amazing. She's a legendary support character, well, support character, and she's force. So most new players don't have force, very many force characters at least. So this widens your affinity roster, which is great. And she's a barbarian, and she has AoE attack. She's a great support for faction wars, for getting your first faction war team built too. Almost everything about this character, if you can get her, will be super helpful for your account. Now, her skill 2 attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing weaken and block buffs for 2 turns. Block buffs is a pretty hard skill to get, especially AoE. So this already is fantastic, and Weaken pairs with it unbelievably well. So this is a character that I could personally use for Hydra. I need more Hydra characters that have block buffs. Everyone's been telling me to build up Ugo, so I started working on him. This kind of fills almost the same role as Ugo. I just don't get the defense break. I get a Weaken instead. But it's not, I think it's super good, especially if you don't have a proper Hydra team yet. She could end up being one of the first characters you can work on that will help you get into at least the easiest difficulty of Hydra to start out your account. It does take a while to get to Hydra, though. I don't feel like you'll get this character and immediately be there, but it's nice having characters that will work for getting into that content, because Hydra is super, super important. It's one of the clan bosses. So next up, she also decreases turn meter of all allies by 20%, so it pushes back. That's not going to help in Hydra, but it's going to help in all other content. And then if Moto, the Peal, is on the same team, so there is a paired character, it is a Valentine's Day event. Usually, a lot of these fusion characters and free characters to give have a secondary counterpart to them, and I don't like that too much. I don't ever expect to get the second character. I always just focus on how good the first character is without the second character. But you are able to steal some of their turn bar. It's not bad, because at that point, instead of just pushing them back 20%, you are pushing them back 20% and boosting yourself 20%. So it doubles the value of the skill. It's a basic way to look at that. But it's not usable in a lot of the content in the game. You can't push back a lot of the bosses. So don't know how great that will be overall, but her base ability there is super good. Weaken and block buffs at 100% chance on a 3-turn cooldown. Fantastic. Now, her skill 3 is increased accuracy and increased speed. Both fantastic. Any kind of boosting ability like this, especially for new players, is going to be amazing for you, okay? The reason for this is, as a new player, you're going to have pretty garbage gear. So if you have anything that gives increased crit rate, increased crit damage, increased speed, increased accuracy, attack buffs is pretty nice too. But these allow you to hit certain thresholds, especially accuracy and crit chance, and those allow you to be more consistent with your bad gear. So this is fantastic. The only problem with it is it's on a 4-turn cooldown, and this is a 2-turn buff. So she will cycle out of her buffs and not be able to reapply them right away. She'll be on a two-turn dead cooldown, and one way you can mitigate this is by trying to build her on Relentless set. If you are a new player and you're doing your tournaments, you will be getting Relentless gear. It's almost 90% of the gear on my account, I feel like, is Relentless gear after playing for 6 months. All my best characters are built on Relentless set. So hopefully you guys can start working on getting some Relentless set, and I think that'll probably be the #1 go-to best thing you could do on her. But either way, just putting her on speed set, she'd still work fantastic. This is all super helpful things. Now, the passive effect, this is where I need any experienced raid player. I'm a little confused by this. When hit has a 50% chance of randomly changes the attacker's critical hits to weak, normal, or strong hits. Does this mean that if you get hit with a weak hit, she could change it to a strong hit? So you're getting hit for more? In my mind, that's what that's saying. I understand the opposite. If you hit with a strong hit, it could change to a weak hit. But is the inverse true too? Can she take more damage? Because if so, that's comedy. But I feel like it's not like that. It's just, as a new player reading that, that's what I think. I think it could go both ways. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. But in my opinion, that's what it says. It says you could change a critical hit from a strong hit to, or from a weak hit to a strong hit, get hit for 3 times as much damage. Is comedy. But now Moto, the Peal, is on the same team. The chance increases 30, so it just doubles your chance of potentially getting hit harder. That's how I read it, but let me know if that's wrong. Next up, her active effect, whenever the champion's hit, increases the turn meter of the ally that has attack by 50%. Okay, this is huge. This is really good. This allows you to, it's whenever she's hit, I don't know, that's a 1-turn cooldown. So once per turn of her turn, she's going to be zooming one of your characters up. 50% is huge. So that's a very good ability. Now her aura is a 90% speed increase in all battles. good aura. Having an aura that's speed for all battles is great. Most people, especially new players, won't have that. If you started with Wukong through my promo code, he's only arena battle speed boost. So aura speed, 19%, it's not a huge number, but it's not bad for all dungeons. Now, so overall, I think she's pretty solid. I definitely think if you can go for her, go for her. It could be a great first fusion to learn how fusions work and get into getting those done. If you can get into a routine of getting fusions done throughout the year and get the login champs, over a year of playing raid, your account's going to be super strong because every fusion is stronger than the previous one from my experience. Every single fusion that's come out in the 6 months I've started, they're all really good. So definitely go for this if you can. I will try my best to help any of you that are going to try for your first fusion. Now, with her paired character, Moto, this is going to be a summon character. The only way you're going to get him is through summoning. He's not the fusion. He is the damage dealer counterpart. Usually when a character has a pair character in their skill kit where it says if X character, one's a support, one's a damage dealer. I don't know of any that aren't. I'm sure there are some, but very, very good to get both, just very rare that you can do so because you have to summon on it. Now, let's just go through his kit real quick. Attacks one enemy 2 times, 50% chance of placing big decreased defense buff or debuff for 2 turns. So that's okay. 50% chance. It probably hits super hard. I mean, look at this dude. It just looks like it's going to hit hard. So next up, attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. So AoE stun, that can be boosted up to 100% chance of landing. And then place an extra hit on enemies under stun debuff. Okay, so if you AoE stun and only land 3 and you hit again, and it's not going to hit the one you didn't stun, but it'll hit all the rest that you have stunned. Okay, if Esme the Destroyer is on the same team, we'll always place an extra hit and ignores 20% defense. So here, 20% defense ignoring is huge, and on double hit, that's going to be some massive damage pairing them two together. So, but again, you probably won't get this character unless you are spending money or get super lucky. Now, attacks all enemies will ignore shield buffs. You could get them down the road, though. Whenever they add these characters, you could summon them 6 months from now. So that's why getting Esme is really good because later you may get him and fantastic pairing. But attacks all enemies will ignore shield buffs. So he has 2 AoE attacks. That's already fantastic. And then damage increased by 75% when attacking enemies under stone skin. So that's really good. I mean, if stone skin's so big, though, I don't know if that will do enough damage to truly break the stone skin. Stone skin is so hard for me to break. As a new player, it's the bane of my existence. When I see stone skin, I panic. And I can't get stone skin myself because I can't do Hydra. I can do Hydra, but like, you're time gated on your stone skin gear. Those of you that don't know what stone skin is, you'll learn over time. Super, super strong set and very, very hard to deal with as a new player. It just basically gives a huge barrier to the opponent and you aren't able to debuff them. I don't believe either. I never can land debuffs. I don't know the full stone skin thing actually either. All I know is I hate it and it's super strong. So if this character removes 1 or more stone skin buffs, so that would be if you do enough damage to break the stone skin, it would remove the buff. It grants him an extra turn. That's really good. And all he has to do is remove a stone skin buff. Doesn't have to kill the enemy. So by getting rid of a single stone skin buff, you're getting an extra turn. I'm curious, can he do enough to remove a stone skin? Because like an ultimate death knight on stone skin, are you breaking that? I don't feel like you are. I'm curious. Maybe with super in-game gear, then the death knight you're fighting is gonna have super in-game gear too. Weird. I don't know about this. I'm curious how this ends up playing out. I will have to watch an in-game player and make a decision on if I want to summon him or not. Because if I can get something that will help me fight Stone Skin, that is infinite value. Okay, so next up, whenever this champion kills an enemy, place a stun debuff on the enemy with the highest turn meter for 2 turns. 2 turns? That's a 2-turn stun. Okay, that's really good. But yeah, so if you kill something, whoever's the next threat is going to get stunned. If you have enough, I guess you have to have accuracy for that. I'm sure you do. So you have to build him with accuracy, which you kind of want for skill 2 anyway. I'm curious if you'll be able to get the accuracy. But yeah, it's the highest turn meter for 2 turns. If Esme the Dancer is on the same team, this champion's skill will ignore 50% of each enemy's rest. So you don't have to build as much. That's already nice. And this is his passive. So you don't have to build as much accuracy. 50% ignore res sounds amazing. Also, if Esme the Dancer is on the same team, place an intercept stack on this champion at the start of the turn. Start of their turn. So start of Esme's turn or his turn? I think his turn. So if you're on intercept stack, you cannot get a controlled debuff on you. So you can't be stunned. It will, instead of getting stunned, it'll remove the intercept stack. overall, he seems pretty good. I'm just curious if he can do what. That's one thing I'm always scared of with characters when I read them is can they do what I think they can do in my mind? And I don't know if he can break the stone skin. I mean, it looks his damage. Looking at him, it looks like it's probably really high. But can he actually break stone skins? Because stone skins are very hard for me to break. My He-Man, like best gear on my account, I go up against a stone skin. I try to skill 2 it. I don't even break the stone skin. I 3/4 HP the stone skin. So I'm really curious if he'll be able to do it. Especially on AoE attack, seems like the multipliers will be lower at that point. So on any bulky character on stone skin, I don't think you're breaking it. But let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Any of you in-game players that have more experience with dealing with stone skin, you'll know better than me. I would like to hear your opinion on it, but that's all I have for this video. So again, first fusion event, definitely suggest going for Esme. I will try to make some videos and stuff. I will be uploading daily, so I'll try to have some kind of thing out as to a plan for it maybe, or we'll figure it out, but some kind of video, or you can get help in Discord for that. The link to join that's down in the description. But that's all I have. Thank you guys for watching. Again, download through my link. You get the 4 epic champions, enter promo code Monkey King, and log in for 7 days. Get Alice. That's 4 epics, 2 legendaries to start raid with. Fantastic. And then you can go for this event. You're going to have 3 guaranteed legendaries, and you may pull some as well from your first summon. So you could have a crazy account by the end of February if you were to start today. So thanks for watching. It's been Mitch or Deity. I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.